Hi guys, how are you doing? Welcome to this channel. So again, I'm joined by my good friend Kamore, the psychologist. Nyongeza in the making.
Yeah, Kamore the psychologist here once again.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about things mental.
Mental health.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we know, we are aware that mental health is mental illness is here with us, and we cannot avoid or rather run away from it.
Yes.
So I wanted us to talk about therapy. It is something that most people are not willing to do. I don't know. Most people are not freely willing to do. Uh, like I just want us to debunk the myths around that.
Therapy.
Yeah, about therapy. Yes. Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Uh, my name is Judith. Welcome to this channel. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, please not try, just subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, so you don't need to try. You simply need to subscribe.
Yes.
Yeah. So
Therapy. Just tell me in your layman's language, what do you think therapy is? Speak like a Kenyan, somebody who's never been for therapy. Just don't me when I explain therapy, I'll explain it from a professional perspective. So
Yeah.
what is therapy? Wewe uko nje umesikia therapy ni nini ama wewe mwenyewe unajiambia
Yeah.
therapy ni nini?
to my understanding,
Ama
it is
counseling. In Kenya we call it counseling.
counseling. Yeah. I don't know if it is the same thing, by the way.
Is this therapy and counseling is the same thing?
It is the same thing.
Yeah.
Okay, so me, when you say I am going to therapy, it means I'm going to tell someone my problems.
Your secrets.
Yeah, I'm going to tell someone my secrets.
And then the reservations.
Yeah, so there is the part of I don't know. Am I going to open up to a stranger about certain things that I feel I should just keep to myself? Yeah.
The therapy, I think that therapy can be found in very many places. We have very many things that can give us that therapy kind of a feeling. Like we have things like exercises, some people cook as their therapy. And therapy is simply that thing that you do and makes you feel better. But now there's the counseling psychology therapy, whereby you sit down with a trained professional,
yes.
that will listen to you and guide you and maybe is able to pick on what is happening in your life. For example, if you have childhood traumas, they're able to pick and they're able to tell where this is coming from, and then they're able to guide you. Therapists will never tell you what to do. They will never force you to doing something that you don't want to do. So we do not force people to come for therapy. No. And even people who are who have alcohol use disorders, people who have a problem with alcohol or what we call alcoholism, we don't push them to come for therapy until that person.
It has to come from
It
you.
has to come from you. But we also have myths and beliefs and egos that make us not good for therapy. A problem shared is half solved.
So, I don't know. Some people call them shrinks.
Yeah,
I'm going
shrinks,
to a
yeah,
shrink.
I'm going to a shrink. That's American or I
That's
don't know whether it's
American,
American
yeah.
or European. You
I
tell
think,
us.
I
Let's
think.
let them tell us what it is.
Please
But
tell
some
us in the
people say
comments
it's a
down
shrink.
below. It's a shrink.
But it is very important.
That someone is going to analyze your thoughts and give you solutions to.
Yes, and they are not. We are not bad people. We will not give you solutions that are beyond you. Mostly therapists will work with you. We work with you. What do you want to do? What do you want after this? We actually ask guiding questions. There's no therapist who will tell you to, unless it is really it's a matter of life and death. That's when a therapist will really want you to come out from a certain situation. But most therapists, I remember when I first went for my first therapy, and I can't remember how old I was, but I was shocked. This woman concentrated on building me, as in she made me a strong woman to be able to face what was happening to me. And I remember her giving me an example of a dog that has fallen in mud. That dog is so muddy, but the dog is struggling to come out of the mud. But again, when they try to come out of the mud, they're sliding again back to the mud. So what a therapist comes to do is talk to this dog, not literally, but just an
Trying to
example.
help
Try
remove.
to help move. I will not even touch you, but I'm going to tell you,
Guide.
just touch on here, guide you. You know, that is according, but everything is done according to the will of the patient. It has never been a therapist is going to tell you to do this or that.
When should I consider therapy?
You should consider therapy anytime. I say anytime you feel like you're not able to talk, anytime you feel like you're bottling up things. Bottling up things is when you sleep at night and all you think about is this thing that you've been bottling up during the day. You need to actually go tell someone. There are also other forms of therapy. Like I said, there's exercise, there's also writing down. At times you sleep at night, you can't get sleep. You wake up in the morning, you're having a headache. It's because you slept, your
Insomnia,
eyes closed.
yes.
Yeah, your eyes closed, but your brain never shut down. So your brain is still lit a lot of resting. So when you find yourself in so many thoughts, a quick therapy is just pick a pen and a paper and write about what you're thinking about. That will help you. That will help you completely. You'll get sleep. Some people have lived without therapy. Their therapy is writing. But there comes a time when you really need to speak to someone.
Can a friend or a relative play the part of a therapy?
Yes, a friend, a relative, or anybody can play a place of a therapy. But my question is, are they professional? What we have what we see in our society. Ni nini inakusumbua? Mimi niko na mbaya kuliko yako. What kind of therapy is that? I mean, when
I see that with human beings, with friends, it will reach a point where they will get tired.
They'll get tired and then they'll start talking bad things about you. They'll start talking bad things about you. They'll start saying, ati usi nilimwambia asifanye hivi. But let me tell you, the most interesting thing about therapists is that we will guide you and tell you, please kindly try and do this thing like this. See, we have agreed. And then next week when you're coming for your next session, you'll tell me you fell. And you went back to the same thing you talked about you're trying to come out from. But a therapist will never laugh at you. No, we will start all over again and again and again. We are there to help. We are not there to judge. We are not there to do. That is the question. When you seek therapy from your relatives, are they actually, they will come with a lot of, what do you call it?
Judgment.
Alafu, like, personally, being a therapist, when I'm taking my children through therapy, I'm not only a therapist, I'm also a mother. So itafika mahali ndakuwa mama.
Yeah, true. It will have to come out. It will have to come out.
Yeah, so I would rather have them get therapy from somebody else because that's somebody. Me, I have other interests. Yani, my son will not come and tell me I'm taking therapy because I stole. I'm beating you first. I'm beating you then. And then I'll let you go through therapy with somebody else. So that is the difference between seeking therapy from a professional and seeking therapy from somebody who's close to us. I did not undermine that. They really play a big role, even speaking to a person who you really feel can listen to you.
Yeah.
Like in my case, I speak to my mother. You know, there are people you speak to, no unasikia.
Yeah.
Sawa.
Kabisa.
Yeah, so those are the different, that is what therapy is. What myths do you have about therapy? My friend once told me they cannot go seek help from their fellow beings.
But then me, I've been to a therapist before, but I went only one session. I only went.
What happened?
I don't know. Maybe it was the wrong timing or what. Okay, why I never went back? I only went once. So why I never went back? Yani, according to me, first they were telling me things that I knew I should do, but I couldn't do them at that time. Unaelewa?
Yeah.
I don't know if it is because I had so much expectation from them, like they were going to simply make my problem disappear.
Like it is alakadabra,
yeah,
like
exactly,
these miracles happen.
No. So I felt like they were telling me to do some things that I knew I was supposed to do, but I just couldn't do.
And that's why you went to this therapist.
I don't even know why I went there. I don't know. But I'm just telling you, I went there once, and then another reason why I never went back is because I felt like they were too harsh. She was too harsh. It was a she. Sasa are we do we expect therapists to be friends or what? Are they there to just tell you the truth? Yes. So Judith, you are feeling like this, but what about I don't know. Any? pengine nimeenda hapo hivyo kwa sababu nimeachwa, and then now she's
Hutaki
there telling
kuachika?
me, yeah, sitaki kuachika, and then now she's there telling me achika. But it is not what I want to hear.
Yeah, I think that's a very sad story and that's a very sad experience. It really makes me very sad being a therapist, because anybody who comes to me should live a better person. Actually, no matter what, you should live a better person. There's a way I can tell you the truth without necessarily making you feel
like what I'm feeling is bad.
It's bad. Yeah,
Yeah, exactly.
And we are also human, so we also make mistakes. I wouldn't want to kutoa huyo wako makosa, but one thing, therapists are also like relationships, just like with your boyfriends or your husbands or whatever you have. There are people you will not just click with. Yeah, so it is also advisable to always change your therapist. If you feel your therapist is not making you feel any better, I mean, huwezi kukideal na stress na stress alafu tena unaenda therapy ingine kwa sababu therapy,
and then someone makes you feel
yes. One thing that we all know as therapists is that everybody is important, everyone is important, and everyone is different. So even if you come to me and tell me things that are against even my belief, I have been trained on how to accept you and how to take you through what you're going through and really make it make sense to you, and the changes also make sense to you. So it was such an unfortunate thing, but I would like to advise anybody who's watching us, if you feel you're not comfortable with your therapist, kindly change. Just change. As in usijieke stress mingi. I mean, economy ni mbaya sana kujiongeza ingine. So I'm so sorry about that.
Now for you to have actually made that decision to go to a therapist,
yes,
because you had reached a certain point.
Yes, and actually congratulations if you ever went to a therapist. It is not easy. People tend to think unaenda kuambia mtu siri yako, tafadhali.
Alafu, do you ever feel like you're oversharing? As in the patient, I wonder if maybe sometimes someone like you, when you went there, did you like later on feel like, oh my God, I just told her that?
Yes.
I shouldn't have. I shouldn't have gone that far. Maybe maybe I should have concealed certain information or.
Na mbona nilimwambia hivyo?
Exactly.
I feel shame.
Exactly.
I think this only happens if you have the wrong therapist. I personally have
if they didn't make you feel comfortable.
I personally have gone through therapists. I've changed therapists. I don't know. May have changed therapists, but it's because I know what I want. So I've actually changed therapists. I don't blame them. It just didn't click. But again, if you get that feeling of shame, there's something wrong. You shouldn't feel shame. Actually, by the time you're leaving a therapist room, you should feel a lot of energy and not shame. You should actually feel, why would I feel shame? I mean, I just shared. It's something that happened to me. I can't change. I think if you feel like your therapist is really making you have this shame moments, hatusaidiani. Because even in our previous video, we say these are the things that make you push you to suicide, because you feel like everybody is against you, or everybody is saying that everything you do is not right. Not to say that we tell you what is not right is right, but I should be able to guide you in a way that you say it is not right, but don't feel guilty. Yeah, so don't feel guilty.
Okay. Wow. Guys, I hope you are learning something from this video. If you are, please give us a thumbs up, okay? Don't forget to give us a thumbs up. So another thing, what really happens in a therapist's office?
Now, depends on the kind of a person who comes in. Ameletwa. There are people who would come for therapy and you can't even converse with them.
Wow.
Yeah, because we have reached to a point, we are psychotic. Yes. There are also people who have come with a wall, but there are very many ways people communicate. Very many ways. Like when I started my psychology program and all that, it was time of COVID, mask. So rule number 1, that patient should not come to me with a mask. I really need to see the facial expression. If somebody cannot talk, if somebody just comes to you and cannot talk and is crying, that's a person in pain. So we depend a lot with the emotion.
So crying is also a form of communication.
Crying is a very big form of communication. Crying is a way of telling how you feel, your emotional feelings. It's actually it's a good thing that unaitoa, but it's also a good thing for us. We see why you cry, so we will start there. We have had sessions, and people who come for sessions, they'll come for even 10 to 12 sessions, and they don't speak. They just cry. And when they cry for that 1 hour, they go, and they will still come back. That means this crying session
They will still
is
come
helping,
back,
yes,
keep quiet
is
and
helping
cry.
them. The person who is speaking in the 13th session, and that's when now we will start again working with them and helping them. But that very first session they came to, it was the very first step towards their healing. So there are very many ways. Like for children who are young, we tell them to grow, and children will tell us the truth.
Yeah, of course.
Children will tell us the truth. We will tell the children, draw your family. They will draw your mother here, your father there, and her in the middle. That's obvious. That child is feeling alone. The father and the mother, they are
Oh
not
yeah,
alone. This child
they're
will
apart.
draw a photo of them holding hands with the father. That means the mother, tuko pamoja. So children will tell us very many things. We also have that is art therapy, where we tell them to draw. We also have whereby we tell them to play with toys. I remember when my son was around, my son didn't speak until he was around 2 years plus. So when he was around 18 months, I took him to a certain pediatrician, and the pediatrician just asked me, does he destroy toys when they come home? And I told her, yes, he does. And he's a normal baby. So by then I didn't know what it means, but we also use toys to just watch and see the way the children are playing, for us to tell what they're going, what is going through them. We also rely very much on people who have brought you for that therapy. Because some people are brought by relatives, parents, parents, children bring their parents. So we get history from
Or from the caregiver.
Yes, from the caregiver or people who are close to you. Questions like alianza kwa hivi lini, kuliendeleaje. So if you get a point whereby this person started being busy when they got into an accident, we immediately know where to start. Yes.
Yeah, is there a point where the therapist gives medication?
No. A psychologist cannot actually
Administer medication. Who does
that? A psychiatrist will.
Oh, okay.
A psychiatrist will. And working with your therapist and your psychologist, they will definitely tell you when you need to see a doctor for medication.
So the therapist is the one who will refer you?
Yeah, they can refer you. And they can refer you day one. You can get to my office and I'm like, this one, especially if somebody comes to us and tells me, this person tumemtoa juu ya mti, they were hanging themselves. That person is psychotic. That's a person who is going against a very natural instinct. So this is a person you directly send to a psychiatrist, and then they go through the medication that balances their hormones. Then when they are, whatever their suicidal thoughts are gone, that's when now we start over as a psychologist and take them through therapy. Otherwise, in my country, Kenya, hapana, psychologist haizi kupea dawa aje. Medication for mental illness is medication, as you can't even get it over the counter. It's not a joke.
And by the way, talking of medication, unajua mimi I just thinking like a layman or someone without knowledge of this matter. So I'm just wondering how my thoughts are racing. I am restless. I am anxious. I feel worthless. I feel all those negative thoughts. And then I'm just wondering how medication will make me. Will medication? What will medication? What miracle? What miracle will appeal do to me? Like after taking that medication, will I automatically feel okay, or what? What does the medication do?
Medication takes even when we are having a headache, it doesn't work in seconds. Works in seconds. It doesn't work in seconds. So we have you keep the medication time. There are people who take medication up to 6 weeks without seeing any changes, but within 6 weeks we see the changes. So what happened when people get into depression or when they get into some mental states? It's simply a chemical imbalance in your brain. So, for example, we have the dopamine, which is the happy hormone. When it goes deep down, of course, we become sad because it's a happy hormone. Inastahili kuwa hapa, ikienda chini hivi, we become sad. There are very many things that are going to raise your dopamine, which includes exercise. Those therapies we talked about, the art therapy, all those things that we talked about. But when all that fails, now the medicine comes in and levels your dopamine for some time. Then when your dopamine is on level, now you can't be released to go. If you continue with the medication, as the way the psychiatrist has prescribed. I don't know how they prescribe it, but when the dopamine level is now at the good level, yani imefika kiasi yenye iko supposed to kuwa, yeah, you can now learn also to control your emotions, do things. You just see what is working for you. Knowing yourself is very important, because the moment you know, dopamine yangu inaenda chini, you definitely know you either need that exercise or you need to see the psychiatrist for more medication, but simply that it is chemical imbalance in your brain. And this chemical imbalance can be natural. What we don't know is that it can be natural.
Without any triggers, you can just feel it.
Yeah, it's just like what can I say? It's just like some people have higher production of acidity, others don't have higher production of acidity. Like maybe I can give an example with ladies. Some people have very heavy periods, others don't have very heavy periods. So it's the same. Some people will automatically have dopamine that is not produced enough in their brain.
Okay.
So it can be that natural. So si kila kitu mtu ako na depression ni nini akusumbua, uko na nyumba kubwa ni nini akusumbua, uko na wazazi, uko na kila kitu na kusupport nini na kusumbua. Let us stop that bit. At times people going through depression don't even know what is disturbing them. That didn't say that stress and life pressure can also, that doesn't mean that life or pressures in life that cannot make you go into a depression. Yes, the dopamine levels, not always this, it is not that. Always, yani si kila wakati mtu akiwa na depression mwambiange anasumbuliwa na kitu. At times it's natural. But
yeah, true. By the way, you tell someone, I feel so. At kwani bwana ame.
The first thing is either bwana ama hauna bwana ama uko na bwana ama pesa. I mean, let's stop this judgment. Let's learn to listen to our friends again. We said we are also stopping this suicidal thing. So let us be kind enough to our people. So at times the dopamine level can also be affected, or these chemical imbalances in the brain can also be affected by the stresses around us. You see, like the way just the way the body will produce less because you're thinking a lot or you're doing something. Yeah. So there are also instances like that, but it's not always that we should tell people that
maybe what is happening around us could be just triggers.
Yeah, it could be triggers, and at times you'll find something very big and it won't trigger the dopamine. Then something very small will trigger it.
Why?
Because we are different. That's why you're not light skin. I am light skin. Now Mimi, I am light skin. Please tafadhali look.
No. Sasa ni hata unaona sasa venye nimeanza kufanyiwa now.
No, it's just an example. I mean, I'm trying to give an example in the layman's language. Just because we're all different. So these things, because Mimi, I really get pissed off with people saying, nini tena inakustress uko.
Nini tena
inakustress. Ati wacha kuweka vitu kwa roho. Let's be kind. Mental illness is not kind. So let us be kind. It's a battle of the brain. So we shouldn't take it easily. Yeah.
Wow.
So don't fear to come to that therapist. Seek help. Seek help. Imagine most of the problems, actually 90% I think of the diseases you go through are mental. Yeah, are mental. When you have those migraines, check on what are you thinking about.
Yeah, sometimes even backache, even diarrhea.
Actually, diarrhea is a sign of anxiety. Yes, anxiety. Mtu anasemanga, you see these layman people will say, aki nimeshtuka mwaka nikasikia bwana kuhara. It is anxiety. Wow. It is anxiety, but we do not know.
Yeah, we don't.
Yeah, and we even make
fun of it.
I see people making fun of diseases that they have. You know, like people will say, Aki, I am OCD. You know what OCD is?
It's a mental illness, guys.
Do you know what OCD is? OCD is not being clean. OCD is not you being clean. OCD is a kind of a mental illness that really needs a lot of intervention for it to be cured. Yeah.
Do you believe exercise cures depression? Because I've been to just social media. I don't know, on Quora and such places where I see people discussing anyone who asks about how to deal with depression is always told to exercise.
Yeah.
And then of course there are people who exercise has helped. Yeah. They say that exercise has helped them.
Yeah.
Deal with depression. Yeah. But then there are others who it doesn't help.
It doesn't help. Yeah, it helps to some people, but to some it won't help. if it doesn't help you, stop copying. Mimi, I shouldn't copy what Judith is doing. I mean, I should seek help. It simply increases your level of dopamine. But you see, you can exercise and exercise and exercise, then this chemical continues having the imbalance, and by then it will need help. Maybe a pill to make it balance, and then you can continue with the exercises. So at times, even if you exercise for over a year, if you have a history of having depression, if you feel like it is not working for you, don't be so hard on yourself. Seek help. Allow people to take care of you. Allow the psychiatrists, the doctors, the nurses, the psychologists, allow them to take care of you, because it's simply saying you need care. So don't be so guilty if it doesn't work for you. It will work for others. Again, I said you're very different. Others it will not work for. Nature, going to nature, taking walks, natural things really work to be able to improve what we are going through. Again, I would point out the reason as to why our forefathers did not have these kind of things is because they went to the lands to till.
But we also can't rule out the fact that they had them.
They had
Yeah,
that.
they did.
They really had it. But again, they were so clever, especially the Kenyan culture. The African culture is so deep and so strong and so huge that they had ways of coping with them. And
Yes, yeah.
suicide and being so much sunk into depression wasn't part of it. So exercise helps. Lack of exercise also will make you feel stressed.
Because now for me, when I am feeling depressed, or when I'm feeling anxious, or I just my mind is not
Still,
yes, I don't even have the energy to exercise. For me, they work together. I need to be mentally okay
for you to be able
to be able to exercise. And
Yeah.
also, of course, after exercising I will feel good.
Yes.
I don't know.
I don't know. When you get to such a point and you really feel now you can't exercise, and this is something that gives you, maybe raises your happy hormones,
Yeah.
it's always good to seek help or look for plan B. It's only me who knows how I feel. So it is me who knows. If I'm not able to exercise that day, what else can I do? For example, maybe when I'm bored and I'm not able to exercise, just take a walk.
Yeah, take a walk.
Because a walk, and unaenda mbali is to make sure that you're going to come back with the walk. You're feeling better, and it is not a wasted day. You try and look for the alternatives around. But that moment you get whereby you're not able to leave your bed, you're not enjoying things that you've
now
been
that is
enjoying
serious.
before, you're not taking a shower, maybe you're not brushing your teeth.
You are
Your
always
energy,
irritable.
yeah, you're always irritable, your energy levels iko huko. Tafadhali, seek help. Seek help. We called it laziness. When I was growing up, it was called laziness.
Yeah, it was called laziness.
Yeah, it was called laziness and kichwa. But actually, when you feel your energies are low, you should seek help, or you should do something.
Yeah, do something about it.
Yes, because pia kuna watu, they become very deeply depressed, but they're not suicidal.
But they just don't know how to get out of it.
Hata hawajui kama
wako depressed. By the way.
And then we get in life, I discovered people tend to think sadness is normal.
Yeah, sadness is normal, because in life, of course, definitely you cannot be happy all the time. But now when
prolonged,
the sadness becomes very prolonged,
and it's affecting your
daily life,
yes. Your production into your workplace, or what you do to your children,
relationship with other people, yes,
then that should be checked into. When you find yourself, you've been a calm person, but now you're screaming, or you've been an outgoing person, you're not going out, there's something. And most people don't know.
Even me, by the way, when I was going through depression, I didn't know it was depression. It was just later on that I realized I have been, I sank into depression. I didn't even know.
And these are things that cause lifetime traumas.
Yeah, true.
Trauma. When you advance in age, you're just living a life of regrets. Why did I allow these things to happen?
Yeah. Why did I stay down there for too long?
Why did I stay there for too long? Why didn't I seek help?
Exactly.
If it is somebody who's going through a bad marriage, whether it is that man or it is that woman, they will regret later. Why didn't I leave? I mean, I think we should really also consider therapy and mental illness, just like the way we treat ourselves.
The way you go to the salon.
You also need
to look good.
Yeah, to look.
You also need to look good.
Your emotions from the inside, from the bottom of the brain. Yani as in And in Kenya, we have not embraced mental health.
We are still joking, by the way.
We are still joking. Utapata mtu kwa bajeti yake asubuhi amebudget kila kitu hapa chini ndio ana budget ya health. No, please tafadhali, health should come first. Because I need to be healthy for me to be able to work and make this money. But what do we do? It is quite a sad. It's sad. It's sad that we even find this kind of mental illnesses driving us to things that are unbelievable, like murdering our relatives that grew up with us.
Honestly.
Yes. Yes. And we also have the culture of ni mashetani.
Ni mashetani. Like, we will always blame the devil.
Hey, I don't know how to deal with the culture of mashetani. But I think we should actually bring science here and mashetani here and see which is which. Because you can't just say you're killing people because it's mashetani. That person is mentally sick. That person is
They
psychotic.
have to be mentally sick.
Yeah,
honestly.
it's psychotic. And actually what we didn't know, we have, even in our prisons, we have the psychiatric wards. Yeah, there are people who are there because they can't control their anger or something and they end up killing people, are put in. Because they can't live with these other people. Then you can't finish an entire family, then come to live with us. These people are mentally sick. Who are mentally sick?
Oh my goodness. I'm thinking of that 15-year-old who murdered the siblings. The siblings and the cousin.
Yeah. Siblings. Friend and a cousin.
Oh my
15.
God. 15-year-old.
Tell me, what at 15-year-old, what would you do?
What was I even thinking?
What did you know?
What were my thoughts like?
It was never anywhere close to that. But again, the environment where you are in matters. And like I said before, there are telltale signs that this person is not right. Watch each,
But
especially especially parents. Let us watch each step out.
Every change. Yeah, exactly.
Any changes. Alikuwa anapenda ugali akacha upenda ugali. Chunguza. Just an example, chunguza. Not necessarily that is bad, but chunguza. I would rather investigate and find it is something else than later regret. True. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So does depression ever go away?
Yeah, depression, it goes away a lot. Of course, we're able to cope. Like I mentioned earlier, my first therapist actually built me. By the time I was able to do away with what was happening to me and what was making me get depressed, I didn't know. But I just came out there as a strong woman. So I was able to face this. And I even, you see those things you did when you were young and you were ashamed. Those are the things. So depression will go away because most of the times depression is about the environment where we are in or what we are facing and we're not able to face it. So depression will go away through proper medication. If you're on medication, you just take proper medicine. If you're on therapy, just follow up with therapy sessions strictly. If it's that exercise, you follow up the exercise as in jijue.
Yeah, and I believe the biggest part of actually healing comes from you.
Me.
Yeah, it comes from within.
The day you sit like this and say, mimi ndio nalalanga nikilia, mimi nitaacha kulia. But sasa me, I don't know why you even cry. So you will say that maybe I need to go see a therapist. Maybe when you're talking to the therapist, you will open up things that will show that's the reason you're crying.
Yeah.
And trust me, there's something we call trauma. Trauma is bad. Mm-hmm. Trauma. I think the trauma I can talk about was when I watched Westgate. That is the only trauma. Yeah. Okay, not the only one. Maybe I have others.
But that is the one you remember.
But this is the one I remember. Not that one, PEV. Post-election violence 2007.
Oh yeah.
I stayed for 6 months in the house. I did not leave the house for 6 months. Because I was traumatized. As in, I just felt, I didn't know it was trauma. Of course, later in life, that's when I learned it's trauma. After Westgate, I couldn't visit anymore.
I like me Westgate, oh my God.
And I watched Westgate. You remember Westgate was all over us.
Yeah, it was all over.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I watched Westgate. I didn't watch Dusit and I didn't watch Garissa because I already knew.
Yeah, you are aware.
To date, I look at myself, if I watched Westgate and got into trauma, whatever was in that Westgate and I never helped someone, the trauma I would go through. So there's things that will come out that disturb you in your subconscious mind and you don't know. So it is always good to see to that therapist, tujichambue, ongea tu tulikane ni nini. But being sad should not be part of your life.
Yeah, true. Imagine.
Yeah.
Can you imagine, Annie, living your whole life
Sad.
as a sad person?
No, apana, normal life is not sad.
And then maybe
Life
when
is
you are
happy.
60 or 70, you'll be regretting. What
Yes.
did I do with my youth?
Yes, what did I do with my youth? So I wish we could get compulsory therapy. I think, yeah, like I was saying, we should have compulsory therapy to our children. For someone to grow up knowing that mental illness is quite a big thing.
And also help you deal with
life in hard character development.
Kabisa.
And then we are parents who
actually
I don't know whether to say this, but we have had generations and generations of transferring that kind of a thing that we must only become. We should not be kind enough. Even me as a parent, I could be depressed. So
and then you
transfer it to my children, and then they get childhood trauma. So by the time they are my age, or by the time they are getting married and getting children, they already have that trauma.
They will transfer it to also their children,
yes.
And the cycle continues.
And the cycle continues and continues.
Yeah.
So if you feel like if you just feel, imagine when mwenyewe unajijua, as in you know yourself, you're not okay. Just seek help. Wachanga hizi maibu, kwanza wanaume, wachanga hizi maibu ati now ati seeking help is going to save you. No. Imagine it is for your betterment and the betterment of your children and your generation. True. And it also makes you feel better. I mean, at times, before therapy makes me feel normal. At times, I tell my therapist something and she's like, "Oh, that's normal," and I'm like, "Okay." I thought I was
not mad. I'm not mad.
I'm not crazy. Yeah. So it's quite interesting. The other thing I'd like to say is that even therapists go for therapy.
Yeah, even therapy. They actually need therapy.
We actually need therapy. It's not that thing of being. Kamore is a therapist, so she doesn't need to be asked how I am. Please ask me how I am.
Yeah, true.
I could be suicidal.
Yeah, true. You're a human being before you are a therapist.
I'm a human being first, then being a therapist. And then we also have things that you hear and you get depressed.
Those are what we call triggers.
They will trigger you.
Yeah.
They will trigger you.
So I always feel like if you have been depressed before, you have a higher tendency of being depressed again. I don't know.
I think it is the other way around. Because if you have been depressed before and you went through the entire program of a psychiatrist, medication, therapy, you know yourself. So you're able to tell when my levels are going deep. No, I need to do this.
And then you also know where you were, and you also know that you wouldn't want to go back there.
Thank you. Yeah. So you are now more aware of yourself. So you're able to take care of yourself. I think that's the way it is. Otherwise, if you see people recurring in depression, it is not also abnormal. But these are people we need severe, more help, and a lot of help in that case. Severe counseling, severe therapy, and we need to check on them. But we should come out as better people. If you have gone through therapy, if you have gone through that program, you should be able to come out as better people. Therapists will hear things. I mean, you are, for example, I'm a mother of boys. Okay, you're a mother of girls. Yeah? You're a therapist. Mm-hmm. This is an example, Tafadhali. It's not that it happened.
Therapist.
But she's a mother of two girls. So somebody comes to you, a man comes to you and tells you they raped a 14-year-old. You're a mother of a 14-year-old.
I'll go crazy.
Yeah, so we are humans. We are humans before we become those therapists.
Yeah, true.
So that will keep you. In fact, if you hear, even sayo mwenye umesikia hivyo kwa video, if you have a 14-year-old, umeanza kumwangalia, umeanza kumtafuta.
Yeah. So, by the way, when you hear other stories from outside about maybe children your age who are raped or I don't know done what. You'll always look at your children.
You will always look at your children. When I hear about children in secondary school that are dying in secondary school because of being bullied, I have a child in secondary school, so that will also trigger something in me. So we are not perfect. So ask them how we are. Check on us. But we are ready to help. We want to heal the world. We want a world whereby we are happy.
Honestly.
Yes.
Yeah. So guys, I hope you have learned something about therapy. Honestly, my mission this year is to try as much as possible to be a happy and better person, both for me and for my family. So I hope that is exactly what you want for yourself, and that you can seek help if you need to. And yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
So
So
parting shot, take care of yourself, take care of your mental health, take care of the people around you. You don't have to take care of the village, but if you take care of that one person, another one takes care of the
true, true,
person,
true, true.
and somebody else takes care of you, it is a good thing. Let's avoid being so negative to people. I think it's a social media. Should I mention
Social.
that?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
No, before you
That's our
click,
whole topic.
that's
That's
our
our
own
whole
topic.
topic.
But before you click that negative comment on someone, please
Honestly.
consider.
But then
Actually,
sometimes you don't even need to comment.
you don't
Sometimes
need.
I also feel like,
Najiuliza,
how
"Ule
dare
amesema
you?"
nini?" But,
Yeah, but
that's
yeah, but
sad.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
actually, the people who are rude to innocent people they don't know, those are people going through something.
They are
For me to be
projecting
able
it.
to
Yeah, true.
to attack you on social media and I
But then I've
don't
just
know
remembered something. Unaona kwa hiyo group ya Let's Go Kenyan Meals. So I had posted there, but then I don't post on Facebook groups a lot.
but you
Yani
posted
for
there.
me to have posted it because I really needed help.
Mhm.
Yeah, so I had it's because hizo school I was going to Kampala. So I came back with a lot of ripe bananas.
So
And then my mom also brought me ripe bananas. So I had a lot of them. And so yeah, so niliendea menu ya kupika bananas. And then now there was just a certain guy. Yani he just came and commented so badly. Kwani what do you think? Unakuja kutuonyesha venye uko na nini.
Kuweka mulu yake tu.
I had to turn off commenting, by the way,
Oh,
because
yeah.
anyway, I had gotten good comments and advices on what I could do with the bananas. But now this one person, yeah. So I turned off commenting. Do you know the guy came to my inbox to tell me what? Asking me to help him look for a job. What I told him.
Why you don't have to revenge.
But I told him next time, make sure you talk to someone nicely.
Yeah.
Yeah, you cannot talk. You cannot attack me like that.
Attack, yeah,
and then come to my inbox asking me for a job,
and
even if
imagine,
I had one. There is no way I was going to need to recommend you, by the way.
There's also this story that goes that a guy was looking for parking. So when this guy was going to parking, he got first at the parking bay and showed him the middle finger. And he was going for an interview. But the interviewer was this guy who showed the middle finger. So tafadhali, let us
yeah, you never know where you will meet the other person.
Mental health is not what are you checking? Mental health is not a family thing. You can't say wale watu wanapatanga mental health.
Yeah.
You can't say mimi sitaipata mental health issues.
It's not genetic. Is it genetic?
It can be genetic to some extent. There are families who have a family tree of suicide people.
Yeah, true.
Because of again with the production of the hormones, like I advised before, the chemical imbalances, but not necessarily, especially with the new generation and what we have become today. Anyone can get that mental health. So mambo ya kusemanga sijui fulani anafikiria sana huyu please.
Anasumbuliwa na mashetani za kwao.
Hapana, tuache tafadhali. Let's be kind. It's only funny when it is not your king who's dancing in the market.
True.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah. So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you have learned something today. And thank you so much, my dear, for coming again.
Karibu sana.
Yeah. So guys, let's meet on the next video. Yes. Bye.